So one more important thing, that is arrays. Okay, so again, array is just a collection of variables, so values actually. So if I have a array which is containing numbers like this, okay, so now it's actually containing 10 different variables. If you want to define variables, you would be defining 10 different variables. Instead, you are just defining an array which is actually just giving you values, okay, which is actually giving you values, storing different values in a single array. So this saves a lot of space and makes more sense. If you have a lot values and of same type or different type, and actually store it inside a single array. And now if you want to access this, you can simply say console.log. If I talk about 0th index, that means I'm talking about the first element of the array. So if I say numbers and 0, it would actually give me the first element, that is 1. Okay, it would give me 1. If I talk about, suppose if I talk about this element, this means I'm talking about index 1. Okay, now if I want to get the length of the array, if I want to get the length of an array, I would just say number dot length. Okay, so it would give me length of an array, that is 10. Length of the array is 10. That means we have 10 elements starting from 0th index. That means what would be the index of last one? It would be 9. In this case, it would be 9. That means length minus 1. This is the last index, right? This is the last index. Length minus 1 would be the last index. That means 9. That means if I want to get the last value, what I would actually do is I can simply say numbers. Inside this, you just need to pass this. Okay, this would actually give the value of last index. Okay, so now even if you just add new value, that is 11, so it would give you the value of last index. Okay, whatever value you add, you would get the value accordingly. Okay, so always last value would be actually gotten by this. Okay, so that's how you can actually use arrays. Later on we are going to learn more about these. Okay, now one more important data type, that is function. Okay, so function is very easy. It's like when you want to call something again and again, you just define a function out of it. So I'm just defining a function named as greet, and I would just say we would simply print the value, and whenever I call this function, it would print hello world. Okay, whenever I call this. Right now I haven't called the function, I've just defined the function. So it's very useful in some cases, like you have to create a calculator or some operations. You can actually create a function, and you can call that function again and again instead of writing code and again and again. Okay, so now you can see I simply called greet and it would give me the value. Okay, so wherever you call greet, you would get the value. Okay, that's how it works. So that's how functions work. Now these were some very basic variable types, and you'd be using these a lot. Now let's explore what are operators. So first of all, let me just save this code somewhere. Now guys, let's learn what is an operator. So operators are basically like you want to perform some operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or you want to check that if a number is greater than or smaller than or equal to something or some values. So you can always use operators. So let's first of all learn what is arithmetic operator. Okay, so arithmetic operators are very easy to learn, and you just need to say that first of all I'm just going to comment it like this so that you know that this is arithmetic operator, and it actually basically has these 4 types of signs. Okay, 4-5 types of signs. So this is actually for giving power, and this is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and percentage, and the power sign. Okay, so suppose if I have two values, I'll just say where a equals 10 and where b equals 20. Okay, so suppose I would just print where a plus b, so it would give me sum of a plus b. If I print a minus b, it would give you subtraction. If I talk about a into b, it would give multiplication. If I talk about a divided by b, it would give you the division. If I talk about a percentage b, it would give you remainder of a divided by b. If I talk about a asterisk asterisk b, it would give you the power. That means a 10 to the power 20, it would give you value accordingly. Okay, so that's how actually these arithmetic operators work. Okay, so I hope now you understood what are arithmetic operators. Now similar to this, we have one more type of operators known as the assignment operators. So assignment operators are very same. They are actually like this. Okay, so if you want to check for like again same as the arithmetic operators, but here you can consider them as binary. That means right now here you require two things, that is a and b. What you can actually do is you can simply say where a equals 10. Okay, and now where b equals 20. Now if I try to print some values, for example, I'll just say, suppose I say a equals a plus b, that means a would now become 10 plus 20. Okay, so if I say a equals a plus b, okay, that means a equals 10 plus 20. This is good. Okay, this is good. If I just print the value, this would give me the value. Okay, this is operation of what? Arithmetic operators. Now in terms of assignment operators, to shorten this, what you can actually do is, instead of this, I would actually say A plus equal to B. This means the same. Okay, if I'm talking about this, if I'm talking about this, I'm talking about same things. Okay, so instead of writing it this way, you can actually write it this way. Okay, that means A equals A plus B. That means old value of A plus B. That means this is the assignment operator. Similar to this, we use the subtraction. That means A equals A minus B. That means A equals 10 minus 20. It would give you minus 10. Okay, similar to this, we have A equals A into B. That means A equals 10 into 20. That means it would give you 200 now. Okay, similar to this, we have A equals A divided by B. Similar to this, we have A equals remainder of A and B. Okay, that means percentage sign. Similar to this, we have A equals A to the power B. Okay, so star sign. Okay, so all these are actually very great operations which you're going to use. Now if I just say A equals this B, so it would take the value of B. Okay, so now actually the value of A is actually changed to 20. Okay, so that's how these operations are really useful, and you'll be using these a lot in some cases. Okay, so very important. Now let's continue with the remaining operators. So we learned about the assignment operators, right? Then we have one more operator named as comparison operators. Okay, so if you write about comparison operators, you can actually make some comparisons. Okay, so comparison operators are actually of some types. First of all, double equal to sign, that means it would give you always true and false values. Comparison operators always give you true and false values. So double equal to, triple equal to, single equal to comes in assignment operator, double equal to and triple equal to come in comparison operator. Okay, there's a difference. So here you can see we have one more, not equal to, not double equal to, and greater than, lesser than, greater than equal to, lesser than equal to. Okay, so these are all the signs which we have here. So we are going to learn about these. Okay, so let's say we have some variables where A equals 10, where B equals 20. So right now you know that these are two variables. Okay, so suppose if I just try to print some comparison, if I talk about A equals B, so you know that A is not equal to B, so it would give you like this. Okay, but if I say A equals 10 and B equals 10 but a string 10, okay, so is this same? Yes, logically you can see that both of these contain 10, but the data type is different. You can see this is a number, this is a string. So if you write double equal to, it would always check only for values. That means only check for values. That means this would work if even if the data type is different. But if I pass triple equal to, it would also check the data type. That means data type must also be same. If this is a number, this must also be a number, then only the comparison is equal. Okay, so if I write it like this, it would give you true. Okay, so these are the first difference between double equal to and triple equal to. If I write it like this, so you would see the difference. Okay, so you would see the difference. Okay, so you would see the difference like this. Okay, now one more important thing, that is greater than and lesser than. So let's understand this. So if I say we have a variable named as A equals 10, and if I say B equals 20, if I try to print the values, like if A is greater than B, no, A is not greater than B. If A is less than B, yes, A is less than B. Is A greater than or equal to B? Yes, A is greater than or equal to B. No, A is not greater than B. You can see A is not greater than B, and A is also not equal to B. For example, if A is equal to B, then this case would be true. Okay, this case would be true. Or if A is greater than B, then also this case would be true. So it contains both conditions. That means it's checking either A must be greater than B or A must be equal to B. If any condition follows, then this condition would become true. Okay, so you have A greater than equal to B, A less than equal to B, it would check again if A is equal to B or A is less than B, then only it would return true. For example, if you just make A equal to B, it would return true. You can see it would return true. If I make A smaller than B, so it would again return true, but this would become false because A must be greater than B or equal to B. Okay, so in both cases this became false. It would become true for at least one condition, so it became true and it returned true, right? So this is known as the comparison operator. Now one more important thing, that is not equal to sign. So if I write console.log, that is A not equal to B, that means I'm just saying is A equal to B or not? Yes, A is not equal to B, so it's returning true. If I make it 10, you know that A is equal to B, so it would return false. I'm just saying that just check if A is not equal to B. No, A is equal to B, so it would return false. Suppose if I change the data type, So as same as this one, we have one more thing. You can see I changed the data type. You can see it's returning me false. That means it still makes A as equal to B, because data type is different, but logically they are same. They are same. So if I also want to include data type, I also want to include data type. That means if I am talking about data type, you can see this is a number, this is a string, so they are not same, they are not same. So if I want to follow up like this, I want to pass one more equal to sign, this would check the data type also. So now in this case, you can say that A is not equal to B, because I'm also including the data type. Okay, so that's how it actually works. So these were the comparison operators which I wanted to tell you. Now one more thing, after this guys, you need to learn about logical operators. Okay, so logical operators are very easy, and you would be learning these a lot, you would be using these a lot. So logical operators are actually of three types: and sign, or sign, not equal to sign. Okay, so I'm just saying that suppose we have two values. Okay, suppose two values, so I'll just say A equals true. Okay, A equals true and B equals false. So I'll just say that true and true would return true. Okay, so if I'm talking about this and operator, true and true would actually return true. True and false would return false. False and true would return false. False and false would return false. That means if I have two conditions, if both of them are true, then I would proceed further, else I won't proceed. Okay, so in those cases you actually use this. For example, let me just name this some other variable. So I'll just say that I have two variables, that is sunny, is warm. So I'm checking that is the day sunny? Yes. Is the day warm? Yes. If both of the conditions are true, then I'm going to say that if is sunny and is warm, then you are going to go to the beach, else you are going to stay at home. That means we have and sign, and if this returns true, then only you would get after this, else you would return this. So if I make this false, what would happen? This condition would follow up, and this would be skipped, and this would be followed. Okay, similarly if I make this false, this condition would follow up again, this would be avoided, this would be taken. Okay, that's it. So that's how it actually works. So even if any statement is false, at least one statement is false, so this would be resulting false, and you would jump here. If this returns true, that means if both the statements are true, then only I'm going to perform something. Okay, so these are the first logical operators, that is and sign. Now similar to this guys, we have or sign. Okay, so we have or sign. So again, I'm just going to say that we have a variable named as is sunny, and I'm just saying is warm is also false. Okay, so if I just say that true or true would return true, true or false would also return true, true or false would again return true, false or false would return false. That means at least one condition must be true, then your if case would run. Okay, so again if I just copy this and if I just paste it here, and now this time I'm just saying at least one condition is true, then it would return true, else it would return it like this. So you can see in both here you have false, so it wouldn't run like this, it would directly give me stay home. But if I make any of them as true, at least one as true, so you can see I'm getting go to the beach. If I make both of them as true, then again I'm getting go to the beach. Okay, so this is used for checking, like if at least one of the statement is satisfied, then continue, else just stop the process. Okay, for those cases you would be using the or operation. Now one more important thing, let us suppose we have a variable named as is cloudy. Okay, I'm having a variable named as is cloudy. If I just try to print its value, not is cloudy, it would actually give me false. Okay, that means whatever was here, opposite of that would be returned. If I make this false, now I would get actually true. Now I would actually get true. Okay, so now one more example of this is, I would just say that if is cloudy, not is cloudy, returns true, then only you would go to the beach. Yes, you can see is cloudy is false, so this would be returning true, then I'm going to go to the beach. Okay, that's how it actually works. So guys, I hope you now understood these operators, logical operators. Now after this we have one more important operator, that is increment and decrement. Okay, very important. So you would be using this a lot, and this comes actually inside the unary operator. So let's understand these unary operators. Okay, so we have unary operators, so you can actually write unary operators, and inside this we have plus plus sign, we have minus minus sign. Okay, so two very important ones. So first of all, if I say we have a variable named as a equals 10. Okay, so suppose if I print the value of a as a plus plus. Okay, so you can see that if I talk about a plus plus, it would first of all give me a, then it would increment the value of a by 1. That means next time when I want to print the value of a, it would give me 11. Okay, it would give me 11. So first it incremented the value of a, sorry, first it give the value of a, then it would increment the value of a. So if your value of a is incremented, next time you would get plus 1. Okay, suppose instead of this, if you see this, if you see this again, it's incrementing, but first it's incrementing, then it's giving me the value. So you can see first you would get 11, then you have 11 only. Okay, so that's how it actually works. Similarly, we have minus minus. So if you see something like this, a minus minus, so first of all it would give me the value of a, then it would perform the decrement. So you can see now I'm getting 9. Instead of this, if I write minus minus a, that means first it would decrement the value of a, then it would give the value of a. So you can see first it became 9, then I got 9. Okay, so that's how it actually works. So these are the increment and decrement operators. When you want to increment or decrement things by 1, you would be using these. And one more important thing here is type of. Okay, so type of is another type of operator which we have here. So if you are talking about type of, so I would just say suppose where a equals 1 2 3, you know this is a number, but in some case you don't know it's a number. So if you write type of a, it would give you the type, variable type. If you make it some boolean value, if you make it true, it would give you boolean. If you make it decimal, suppose like this, it would again give you number, because since this is a number, so it would give you number. If I make it a string, suppose like this, it's actually a string. Okay, so that's how you would get the type of, and you would be using this a lot to check the types of variables. To if you are getting some data from the back, and you would be checking the type of data you are getting. Okay, so that's how you use these operators. Now one more important operator is the conditional operator. So conditional operator is actually the ternary operator. Conditional operator is like, you have used if else, right? You used if else case, if else is used here, but instead of this we have a ternary operator, specific operator in operators, and you would be actually using this a lot. So if I write ternary operator, and I'm just saying that let age equals 18, and I'm just saying that let is adult, I'm just saying that if age is greater than or equal to 18, then I would print adult. That means that this variable would get the value of adult, and else I'm just saying not adult. That means what would happen for this case? You can see age is equal to 18. That means this condition would become true. If the age is 19, then again this condition is true. But if the age is 17, you can see this condition became false, and you would be getting not adult. So if I try to print the value of this variable, what you would get? Not adult. If you just make it 18, you would get adult. Okay, if you make it 19, again you would get adult. Okay, so that's how things actually work. If you want to add more things like to this, for example, if I write and age is less than 99, that means for people greater than equal to 18 and less than 99, less than, I would just say less than equal to 100. Suppose someone is older than 100, that means I'm just saying that they are not allowed to do something. Okay, so if I say that suppose age is equal to 100, you can see I am able to get adult. But suppose if I make it 101, you can see I'm getting not adult. So you can also perform these kind of operations whatever you want inside ternary. Okay guys, so these were the operators which I wanted to tell you. Apart from this, we have one more important operator, that is binary operators, but you won't be using this a lot in JavaScript, so you can skip that, as it's very I can say complicated to understand, and you won't be using it that much. So you can skip the binary operators. But if you're learning some other language like C, C++, it's a most important thing to learn binary operators. Okay, but yeah, if you want to learn the complete JavaScript, you can learn binary operators also after this. Okay, so that's it guys, these were the operators.